Hello. Okay. Campaigns for the 2027 general elections begins today. And so we can now officially start speaking to issues that we think should take center stage as we prepare for the general elections. Now, I am one of those who believe that campaigns should be issue-based, and I don't pander to primordial sentiments of religion, tribe, ethnicity, or what have you. So we should speak to issues that determine how we live. One of the issues I've heard around, especially from most of the state governors who have left their original political parties to go and join the president in the ruling party, come to deceive people by telling us that the reason the camp from their parties to join President Tinubu is because of the achievements of President Tinubu, because of his reforms. And they tell you that they have more allocation now. The states say they are getting more money because of the reforms of President Tinubu. When they peddle these lies, people are not in a position to interrogate these lies, critically examine them, whether they be true. Now, one of the reasons why people are not able to do this is because of the level of ignorance in this country. It's alarming. It's mind-blowing. The uneducated and the educated illiterates, when you combine it, you'll be amazed. The volume, the sheer number of people who just cannot engage their reasoning faculty, who cannot think. And these people continue to weaponize this ignorance against the same people that they have impoverished and made ignorant. This for me is wickedness. And I, as one who was lucky by the sheer effort of my parents to escape that trap, we, to the best of my ability, help fellow citizens by speaking to these issues. Let's start with what many of these governors have told you. One of the lies that is flying around is the fact that money available to states under President Tinubu have increased significantly from what it was in the previous administration. And so every governor who does a road, who constructs a bridge, or builds a school, tells you that he is able to do it because of President Tinubu, gives credit to President Tinubu for whatever they are able to do in their states. So you want to look at it critically and say, is it true? Now, let me tell you what the lie is here. The deception and the wickedness of these people. Don't misunderstand me. Many of them are as ignorant as the general population. Many of them don't have the ability to even analyze what they are saying. They just heard it from one other person and they too, they start parroting it. Is it my state governor, for example, now, who cannot read simple figure? Is he the one that will know that 70 billion in 2026 is not the same as 70 billion in 2012? He doesn't have that ability. He cannot understand. So I'm not talking about some of those ignorant ones, but I'm speaking about those who know, but out of sheer wickedness in their hearts are using these narratives to deceive the people by telling you that their allocation have increased since President Tinubu became president. Let me explain to you what the issue here is. Before President Tinubu became president of Nigeria, the exchange rate between the naira and the dollar was average 400 naira to $1. 400 naira to $1. Between 408 naira to 439 naira to $1. 454. By April, before President Tinubu took over, or even in May of 2023, when President Tinubu took over as president, the exchange rate, official exchange rate from CBN to the dollar was 455 naira 98 kobo. You can fact check that. Official 455 naira 98 kobo to $1. By May, 455 naira 98 kobo to $1. In that month of May, let me just jump a little ahead. I will come back to do some other analysis with you. Okay, so by June, after President Tinubu took over on May 29, 2023, and announced his foreign exchange liberalization policy and removal of petroleum subsidy, exchange rate rose to 701 naira to $1. By July, the exchange rate was 770 naira. By August, it was 762 naira. By December of 2023, the exchange rate of naira to a dollar was 892 naira 37 kobo. That is what he was 455 naira just 6-7 months ago, times 2. Now, let's put this side by side with the narrative that they are telling you. In 2023, I can actually start from 2022. Let me do from 2022, the average monthly allocation available for distribution to the federal government, state and local government was $1.796 billion. $1.796 billion. That was 753.9 billion naira. 753.9 billion naira. And if you use the average exchange rate in the year 2022, that becomes 1.796 billion on a monthly basis. Now, by 2023, with subsidy is gone pronouncement and increase in exchange rate, total available for distribution to states in naira value was 886 billion naira, and the dollar term was $1.41 billion. Let me just jump and give you a summary, so that a summary of all this, a 4-year comparison of this, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Total Faac distributed 2022, 9.047 trillion naira. Monthly average 754 billion naira. Approximate USD equivalent was $21.56 billion. And the monthly average in USD was $1.8 billion. 2023, half of Buhari, half for Tinubu. In naira, 10.6 trillion naira, rising from 9.05 to 10.6. Monthly average 886 billion. Approximate in USD was 16.94 billion. This is where the lies is. The lies that I'm here to debunk is that the 9.047 trillion naira of 2022 is more than the 10.632 trillion naira of 2023. That is a very wicked lie. Why is it a lie? Because in dollar terms, 2022 gives you $21.56 billion, while 2023 is only giving you $16.94 billion. Do you see where the lie is? The lie is in the fact that they tell you about naira and not tell you the value in dollar. Then your next question, for those of you who have fallen for their lies and their narrative, is what is your business with dollar? Is Nigeria a dollar economy? My dear, Nigeria is a dollar economy because every government expenditure is in dollars. Even your own personal expenditures is in dollars. So don't let anybody deceive you. Adams Oshomole once said that it is only the corrupt politicians and the rich that were crying about exchange rate, that naira was falling, that what is the poor man's concern. That is wickedness. When you hear that, look at that person and you will see that this is wickedness speaking. the value of naira to dollar directly impacts you, no matter your level, maybe even more than it will affect the people. How will it, if I earn my revenue in dollars, whether your naira is tumbling down or not, see, it doesn't really affect me. If I have $1,000 in the bank, it remains $1,000. But your 1.5 million naira continues to go down every day if the value of naira to dollar continues to rise every day. So that is why that is a very wicked narrative and lie that they tell you. Let me continue. I will skip details so that the video is not too long. Though I'm not concerned at all with whether the video is long, because some of these things are things that we must sit down and take time to talk about. Let's not be in a hurry. All these running quick, microwave videos. No. This campaign period, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit down and do analysis for you. The one you can watch and listen to, take it, but I will not rush it. In 2024, federally available distributed Faac revenue was 15.6 trillion naira. 15.6 from 10.6. So they tell you federal allocation increase. But look at the dollar. Because by that 2024, let me tell you what the exchange rate had become. By 2024, exchange rate moved from 994 in January to 994 naira to $1, to 1,505 in February, to 1,511 in March. By April, it came down to 1,235. By May, it was 1,432 naira to $1. By June, it was 1,482. By July, it was 1,530 naira to $1. August, 1,535. September, 1,520. Same thing for October. November was 1,544. And by December, it fell down to 1,357. We know what happens in December, but that's not the essence of this video. So that was what happened. So in 2024, from the 15.6 trillion naira received, in dollar terms, it was only $11 billion. Remember, 2022, it was $21 billion. In 2023, it was $16 billion. In 2024, it became $11 billion. Where is the increase? Where is the increase that Okpebolo will tell you that he is able to do more projects because of increase in federal allocation, and you believe him? That Omahi, Minister of Works, tells you that he's getting more money for projects, you believe him? Just a simple Google search will tell you that these people are liars, barefaced liars that can look you in the face. In short, that is the highest level of insult. The person looks at you and think that you are a mumu. You have no capacity to reason, to think, and so they can tell you anything. Let me tell you about 2025 before we conclude. In 2025, total Faac distributed was 23.7 trillion naira. In dollar terms, it came to $15.6 billion, an average of $1.3 billion monthly. And that is what states, the federal, the state, and local governments will share. And somebody comes and tells you that one of the achievements of Tinubu is that money available to states have increased. Now, let me tie this all up for you and ask you, how much was a bag of cement in 2022 when the exchange rate was 4.55? Let me take the highest. 4.55 naira to $1. How much was a bag of cement? How much was your rent? How much was transport? How much is the bag of cement today? How much are you paying for your rent today? How much are you paying to fuel your car today? 2022, I drive into a filling station, I fill my tank, 10,000, 11,000. If it gets to 12,000, you are squeezing your face. Now, I drive to a filling station and I spend 80,000. If it comes to 74, 76, it looks like I have won a jackpot to fill the same tank. And somebody tells you that your revenue have increased and is not talking to you about your expenses. My dear, if this is not wickedness, then I don't know what is. So, men and brethren, let's use our tongue to count our teeth. This is the time for you to work for yourself, work for your own interest, work in your own, with love for yourself. Forget all these sentiments of tribe, religion, and whatever. Analyze and check. Who among them, all of them that are jostling, will serve your interest? Go beyond their lies. Nigeria will be okay. Thank you for your time. If you got anything, learned anything, you agree, you disagree, click on the like button, follow, and share. Until next time, I'll come again with another fact, myth, lies busting video where we debunk lies of these so-called leaders. Stay blessed.